All right, let's get to it.
Alright guys, so next step on our box project is gluing on the top and bottom. This is Jacinda's box, and she's got a really nice piece of beech and a nice piece of ash for the top and bottom, and we're going to go ahead and glue those on. So just to check, your inside face has to be already nicely sanded, because once it's inside the box it's going to be really hard to sand. And ooh, she's made this already very flush to the sides of her box. So this will work, but just to keep in mind, when you prepare the stock for your top and bottom, make sure that it's a little bit bigger in length and in width by about 1/8 of an inch, because if your box didn't end up quite perfectly square, your top and bottom are going to overhang, and then once it's all glued up we can flush trim it. That's one of those ways that we can make it appear perfect even though it wasn't. Right? So that's one of those little tips. When you glue something on, you guys probably remember that glue between two layers is really squishy and slides all over the place. So this is going to be hard to hold in place exactly where we want it to be. So this is where I'm going to show you guys the nail trick. You're going to take two little 3/4 inch nails and just tap them in. Okay, nice and straight. They don't have to go in very far. Right, that's fine even right there. I'm going to do another one over here. Okay, just like that. I'm going to take a side cutters and I'm going to come right down and clip it. Just like that, so you end up with two little sharp nubs sticking up, about the same diameter as the nail itself. Okay, so that's actually going to dig into the wood, and it's going to prevent this thing from squishing all around with the glue. Right? We're never going to see them, it's not a big deal. So that's that. When we're applying glue, you don't need a lot. Okay, that's actually probably even too much. I'm going to wipe the glue toward the outside of the box, trying to keep any glue away from the inside. And that's because any glue that squeezes out to the outside is pretty easy to scrape off and sand and deal with. Any glue that squeezes off to the inside is a real pain. Okay, so we're going to try to keep our glue focused on the outside edge. Okay, just a nice thin layer. That actually looks pretty good. Okay, so you guys can see that. See how I focused the glue that way? Right, there's actually a little bit of a bare spot on the inside, and that's just fine. Okay, so now the top goes on. Nice and flush. Push it down, it sticks in those nails. Right now it's not going anywhere. And we can take our clamps. Now if you're doing a big box, I strongly recommend you use 4 clamps. If you're doing a small box, 2 clamps is probably enough, but I like to just make sure that the corners come up nice and tight for sure. So I like to use 4 clamps anyway. I know there's kind of a limited amount of these particular clamps back there, but you can use the pipe clamps as well. You can use the wooden parallel jaw clamps. And I would recommend you do only the top or bottom at once. It's just kind of a lot going on if you try to do both at the same time. Okay, that's it. So double check that everything's nice and flush. It should be, because those nails are hopefully doing their job. And then you can squeeze the clamps up nice and snug and make sure your name is on it. And then you can put it in the back of the glue up area. So that's it.